Public Relations Officer for Enderger Lagos Command. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you today at this impactful one-day capacity building workshop organized by your association. Also more of a privilege because I'm standing to talk right in the presence of very senior colleagues and senior officers on securing and safeguarding journalist freedom, how to avoid the pitfall of cybercrime. Presently, we live in an age where information travels at a very, very high speed. Every click, either it's a clickbait or a real click, every tweet, every TikTok post, all has the power to shape public opinions. It has the power to influence a discourse nationally, and even incite conflicts. Journalism today and the responsibility to verify between exposure and protection, and unfortunately between truth and misinformation. As a PR of NDLEA, I have seen firsthand how powerful and potentially dangerous unchecked and unverified information can be, especially when it involves sensitive operations or ongoing investigations or national security. There are times that well-meaning media coverage compromises covert operations for us. Other times it provides the necessary public awareness to deter crime. The difference lies in how information is being handled, either responsibly or recklessly. The rise in cybercrime present new risks for journalists and digital media practitioners, and the risks include phishing attacks disguised as news tips, because most of the activities stay online, so you are at the risk of being phished. Infiltration of your systems. Your website, if they are not properly protected, can be infiltrated, and people drop news on your platforms where you would have no choice than to be responsible for it. So it is important that you have proper cyber safety for your platforms. Also, the legal entitlement of unverified and defamatory posts. This is what most online news platforms are likely going to deal with right now. But we must also acknowledge that journalists themselves can unintentionally contribute to cybercrimes by sharing unverified content, exposing sensitive data, or by failing to comply with the data protection, like the Data Protection Act that Madam spoke about earlier. We also need to understand that journalistic freedom is not lawlessness. Freedom of the press is not freedom to mislead. In this era, the fight for truth must be fought with discipline, cyber data protection, cyber security awareness, and collaboration with all security agencies. And like it has been well emphasized, we are not enemies. We are friends, and we are partners. There is a saying that says, when a tree falls and nobody hears about it, as a tree really falling. As security agencies, when the police work, you have a level of safety you feel in your homes. But if it is not reported, is anybody really aware how much effort the police is doing? When NDLEA works, last year NDLEA made a seizure of over 1 million kg, that's over 100,000 tons of seizures. In perspective, that size of drugs, do we know the Dangote trucks? That's like 4 of that size. That's just what was made in NDLEA Lagos Command alone. So when a tree falls and nobody hears about it as a tree really falling, all the efforts we make, we cannot blow our own trumpets. We rely on journalists to let everybody know how much tree will be falling. And this is the support we need from you. practices for securing journalistic work. As earlier said, we need to understand the cyber law. We have the law in Nigeria where you cannot just put out things just because you want engagement. You have to be sure of whatever you are putting out. You also, importantly, this cannot be overemphasized, you have to verify. 1 kg of drugs is not the same as 10 kg of drugs. So when you come and say, Mr. Aziz has been arrested with 10 grams, if NDLA says Mr. Aziz was arrested with 10 grams of cocaine, and you go out to say he was arrested with 10 kg of cocaine, those are two different scenarios. So we must always verify. When we are not sure, we should call in. And for this, we need to collaborate with security agencies. Thankfully, the association has a relationship with all security agencies in Lagos. And I believe it's similar in other states too. Please always feel free to reach out to us. Our doors are open. One of the most flexible offices in all security agencies is the PRO's office. It is open to everyone. Finally, I would say, let us remember, while journalism is the first draft of history, security is the foundation of a free society. The media's power must be matched with responsibility. And our goal should be to inform and not to inflame, to uncover and not to undermine, to enlighten and not to endanger.
Anything around that particular thing that we can get to be sure that, oh, okay, this is the truth and this is not the truth. So that is what we are going to be talking about this morning. And like I said, in this digital age, that frontline has shifted from newsroom to smartphone, from the pen to the keyboard. Journalists used to be pen pushers. Now, some of us are content creators, who are digital watchdogs, gatekeepers of the truth in the borderless information world. Your platform, sorry about that. Sorry, gatekeepers in the truth in the borderless information world. Our platforms are faster, reach the world wider, and the influence is deeper than ever before. You know, before we have to go out, buy newspaper. Now you just log into your phone and then see whatever you want to see. In fact, if you want to see the bigger world against what we have in Nigeria, you can get it on your phone. A tweet on X, formerly Twitter, can spark a movement. You know, we can start a movement from here. Somebody can just drop something. FRSC PRO Lagos said we should kick everybody here against what I said, and then somebody will say, go and kick her, go and arrest her, go and do this. Reminds me of an issue. Okay, I've told you of that issue that happened to me as an operational team leader. And you see, one post can ruin a reputation. I remember having to sit down, crying and doing rejoinder of that particular post. And it was not easy because a whole lot of people, my influence back in, although they be my states, and that happening to me, a place where I've stayed, I've worked for 4 years, and that happening to me was a whole lot, you know. And as such, the responsibility to be accurate, ethical, and cyber conscious is greater than it has ever been. Because if we lose our digital discipline, you know, you just want to, for virality now, people take virality over accountability. I want to go viral. I want people to come and buy from me because, you know, you market other people's products. People bring products to you, organizations bring products to you because of your virality. And because of that, you leave accountability. You just want to chase the money. I'm not talking to anyone here because I know we are all accountable. Please, a round of applause for us. So, freedom of speech is a constitutional right, but freedom without responsibility is vulnerability. And I hope we understand that statement. Freedom of speech is a constitutional right. It's something that we cannot, but because we are now free to speak, free to do whatever it is that we want to talk about or do, without being responsible, is being vulnerable. And in this cyber age, vulnerability can cost us credibility. You're no longer credible. Nobody says to you again. For as long as you've done. I wish I can mention a blogger here. You know, post anything anything they want to post, they post whatever it is, to just throw their way without checking it, put it out there, and then people, and then go back now and look at what they were 5 years ago and what they are now. It's not the same thing. So they've lost that credibility, no integrity, and even our safety is at stake. Now let's first understand the reality before us. Digital journalism has given us power. We have that power. Power to reach millions of Nigerians, millions of the world citizens, and to hold leaders accountable and to amplify the unheard, to amplify our voices, to say, oh, this is what we want and this is how we will get it. But that same power has also created new exposures and new dangers. We now face fake news that spreads faster than the truth and erodes the public trust. You know, once you throw it outside now, people catch it and that's their truth. Once you tell them, FRC says this, without FRC saying it, they hold it and that's their truth. There's nothing you can say any longer. Before you can even change minds of millions, you know, the way I say it, negative news grow faster than the original news. So once you throw the negative, and that negative will have an impact for years before you can now pull it off and say, oh, this is the truth. Digital impersonation, where clone profiles mislead the public. You know, you have a name. I can mention Dr. Champion, I can mention Mr. Samson Key. There are so many faces here that I know. When I do my stuff from my own office, I do press release and all that, they can hold me accountable to it. There are so many bloggers that we cannot hold. They are in the here, in the team here. And well, you can't hold anybody accountable to it. Who do you talk to? And then you that you have a name, you have to protect your own name. Online defamation, where one post can become a legal issue, and cyberbullying. In the Cyber Act of 2015, we have 32 sections that talks about what you should do, what you should not do. And then you want to risk your own name, you want to risk your own platform for just anyhow news. So cyberbullying threatens the mental well-being and dignities of practitioners. In essence, the same tools that empower us as journalists can also endanger us. As media practitioners, we must remember, press freedom is not just about publishing boldly, it is about protecting wisely. You're not just protecting yourself, your family, you are also protecting the national treasure. And just as unsafe driving endangers life, you know, when we say you are distracted while driving, you are drinking while driving, as much as it endangers life, unsafe online behavior endangers credibility. Both require awareness, discipline, and respect for ethical roles. So how do we secure and safeguard journalists' freedom in evolving digital landscape like what we have here in Nigeria? Let me share 5 key strategies that I know can blend freedom with responsibility. Number 1, build cyber hygiene habit. Your security matter. You have an online your online space. You want to start being disciplined with that particular space. Your strong password, you can't underestimate that. Your 2-factor authentication. Your public Wi-Fi cannot be for public, it's only for you, so it's sensitive for all. People can actually tap into it and do the unnecessary.